You're watching.
Subscribe.
Hello, you're watching ScreenStalker. I'm Fakidor Laurie Blake, and this is housemate Simon Longdon, and let's talk about Twitch, baby. Let's talk about
Getting
you and
sued.
me. Let's talk about all the good things. There are so many bad things.
Bad things.
Because Twitch is suing users who basically co-opted the platform's artifact category back in May to stream gore, porn, copyrighted content, a literal terror attack. So we covered this in a gaming news a little while back because back in May, a bunch of regular streamers had noticed that basically Valve's Dota 2 collectible card game Artifact, which is on screen now, if you haven't seen it, you probably haven't, you've just seen porn instead. It only had a very small viewership of a couple of hundred people at any one time on Twitch.
Once people noticed that the section had such low viewership, they started to stream copyrighted content and memes, and then inevitably, because it's the internet, people came in and took things to a darker place with porn and self-mutilation and even a video stream of the Christchurch mosque shootings.
Just got that downloaded. Who put that into Clip Converter? So the weird thing is that this boosted the actual viewing figures for Artifact, which is partly why Twitch cottoned on to the fact that it was happening and started banning accounts. But inevitably, they kept popping up. It was the same users using new IP addresses, fresh accounts, either dormant ones or ones purchased from someone else. And then bots took over, basically doing the whole process of making the accounts, feeding into the, watching the content, putting the content
Driving
out there.
people towards the content as well.
And so, Twitch said that they were unable to shut down the entire thing quickly because essentially the trolls were communicating off-site on chat apps like Discord or Weebly to coordinate their efforts.
So according to Twitch's lawsuit, from their perspective, Twitch took down the posts and banned the offending accounts, but the offensive video streams quickly reappeared using new accounts. It appears that defendants used automated methods to create accounts and disseminate offensive material, as well as to thwart Twitch's safety mechanisms. Such methods are often referred to as bots. Defendants also use the bots to artificially increase the popularity of the streams, broadcasting the offensive conduct, making those streams more easily discoverable by users browsing Twitch.
So, to protect the Twitch community, Twitch took the extremely disruptive step of disabling streaming for all newly created accounts for almost 2 days before imposing two-factor authentication for certain accounts. In response, defendants sought to evade these steps using old accounts as well as accounts purchased from other users.
So yeah, Twitch banned any account not streaming Artifact in the Artifact section and suspended the ability for new users to stream for multiple days. This whole thing kicked off on the weekend of May 25th and lasted through to May 28th.
And that's exactly not the sort of thing you want to have happen as Twitch. You don't want to stop new people coming to your platform and be able to set up accounts and immediately start streaming, because the whole premise of it is that you're selling it on the ease of streaming. And also, it's just, Twitch is one of those places that it's a destination. People go there not really knowing exactly what they want to watch. They might follow certain Twitch streamers and know that they're live. But quite often you turn up on the doorstep of Twitch, see something you want to watch, click it and find out. And obviously kids do that a lot as well, so you don't want people to be streaming porn and gore and terror attacks and all that kind of stuff.
This kind of goes towards Twitch's big problem, which is the same problem that YouTube has, which is how do they police and what are their responsibilities towards content that they themselves aren't creating. But the problem with Twitch is a lot of this is happening live. So they're having to be even more reactive.
Yes.
And every time one of these scandals comes out, they are luckily that they are still seen as niche and don't get picked up by broader media because people don't know who the big stars of Twitch are, apart from maybe Ninja.
It's really hard to combat this sort of thing because of the amount of content going up. Logistically, you either have to have the raw manpower to manually check every stream as it goes out, which is impossible, or you have to have some sort of algorithm in place to check for copyrighted content, porn, things that aren't in the right section. Not only do you have to have the platform know the game, it has to know that that is an artifact when something's being streamed on that platform instead. But then also you've got to monitor what people are saying, because over the top of the Artifact stream, people might have just been spewing hatred or racial slurs or whatever. You've got to teach a computer to know all that stuff too.
Yeah.
It is almost an unwinnable battle, and that's why I think said lawsuit is happening. This lawsuit feels like Twitch going overboard to make an example of certain people in hopes that other people don't follow suit. This is basically like when ports used to hang pirates in cages in the waters outside there to be like, don't come here, pirates.
The difference is, though, is they're also trying to make sure that that means that they look as though they are equally as aggrieved by the other misdemeanors that are going on their channel. So this is somewhat also of a distraction.
So the suit itself was filed on June the 14th in the US District Court of Northern California and is reported to be against unidentified streamers listed as John and Jane Doe 1 to 100. Like an awful version of 1 versus 100. It's down to you and a racist.
Yeah. The lawsuit alleges trademark infringement, breach of contract, fraud, and unlawful use of the company's platform.
The lawsuit goes into greater detail, saying Twitch's success is due in part to the measures it has taken to create a safe and accessible community for its millions of users. Twitch does not tolerate harassing or dangerous content, nudity and sexually explicit content or activities, or physical violence, including gore. And interestingly, Twitch has also made it clear in the documentation for the lawsuit that basically, when they are allowed to release the names of these 100 John and Jane Does, they will. They said, if and when the legal names of such persons or entities become known. So this is definitely a line in the sand here. This is making an example of certain people in the hopes that other people don't do this again in the future, because actually, I think realistically, it's unpoliceable. If people did want to start doing this on Twitch, Twitch shuts down. This weekend, people were in uproar over this happening. And the only way to fix it was to literally turn off the thing that makes Twitch Twitch. Like, you had to stop people being able to stream, and you had to set up authentication things, which slows down the number of people growing your platform. The exponential growth of Twitch to be like, we've got this many million users, blah, 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 was all down to the ease of setting up your own account and starting to stream. That is now more difficult because of this weekend. And they don't want it to be more difficult down the line. I think in their minds, they need to set out their stall and say, if you do this, this is what happens. We will use the full force of the law and bring it down to you.
But Twitch's growth and success has meant that the many, many small decisions they've made that have allowed escalating levels of various bad things happening on their website have meant that when it hits to a certain point, now they have to make a big step. And it's interesting that then they've now taken that big step, but what is going to happen to all these smaller infringements which have escalated to this point?
Well, thank you for watching. Let us know what you think about the Twitch controversy in the comments down below, and head on over there to watch more awesome ScreenStalker content. I've been Fakidor Laurie Blake. This has been housemate Simon Longdon, and remember, we're watching.